Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm really excited to have all of you all back. If you're new to my channel, welcome to Sacral Butterfly. On my channel, I help people to develop a growth mindset and boost their self-esteem through reflection, prayer, meditation, self-awareness, and we're pretty much just trying to live a better life altogether. So if you like that type of content and you're interested in personal development and just ways to be better in life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also turn on your alerts so you know whenever I post a video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you all of your likes, comments. I'm really loving interacting with you all, so thank you so much. Don't forget to share the content if you feel like someone would benefit from it, and let's just go ahead and make this a community, right? Let's grow together and be better together. I do want to say I apologize. Some of this video has some loud noise in the background, so sorry about that. It's like a loud machine noise, so just FYI, apologize for the sound in advance. Y'all, I've been a little under the weather, trying to get over this upper respiratory infection or whatever it is that I have, but I am here. I'm ready to talk to you all about today's topic. Thank you to everyone who filled out the poll and helped me to prioritize my ideas and my thoughts. You all are great. Like I said, turn on the notification bell so that you know whenever I do post, so that you can be a part of it, so you can help me choose what topic we are going to be discussing for the week. So last couple weeks I didn't post anything, but I needed to know, like, hey, where am I going to take this? What's going to happen this week? So thank you all for voting in the poll. My polls are more important than any election season. I don't care what they tell you. 2024, you need to be voting on my polls. Forget election season, okay? I'm kidding, just kidding. But yeah, just go ahead and vote. I really appreciate y'all, okay? So today's topic is, why am I still bitter? And I'm kind of like, oh my God, the people in my community are sort of on the same wave as I am, because I was like, oh man, I kind of wanted to talk about, bitterness and holding on to bitterness and things like that. But when I put up the poll and you all voted for that one, I was like, wow, I was like, we're on the same frequency. I really love it. So thank you all again for voting. So yeah, why am I still bitter? And honestly, I'm talking about this topic and I'm sharing some of the things that I've reflected on, but this is not something I am an expert at all. Like, I think for me, holding on to grudges and bitterness, anger is sort of my thing. I swear, it's hereditary in my family. I feel like, once you do us dirty, you're cut out. We're like, you're done. And we will hold on to that for generations. We're like the Capulets and the Montagues. Like, I feel like I come from a family like that, especially my mom's side of the family. My mom is watching, so I know she's gonna laugh. But we can hold on to it for a very long time. But one thing that I'm noticing is that, like, when I hold on to the bitterness, it actually is hurting me and not the other person, and it actually has physiological repercussions. I have been sick for a few weeks, and obviously things happen, and I live in Georgia, so allergy season can really affect people who are asthmatic and things like that, and which I am. So I think obviously that has something to do with it. But when your energy is off, that can affect your physiology too. So I preface this topic with, bitterness hurts you, not the other person. And it has physiological effects on your body, not just, right, like the thinking and the anger aspect of things. So I want you to keep that in mind. And I want you to know that when you're listening to this, we're going through this together. We're working on this together, and we're gonna hopefully get through it as a group, as a community. So I wanted to start off this week's video with a definition again. So you know what bitterness is. So bitterness is anger and disappointment at being treated unfairly. And I am specifically talking to people who have been wronged in a relationship, specifically even more in a romantic relationship. So it could, again, this can go through any relationship. This can go with your family, This can go with your friends, co-workers. You can have some sort of bitterness, but I'm going to talk about it in a sense of romantic anger or bitterness, and having being treated unfairly in a relationship. In the past couple of weeks, we've talked about heartbreak. We've talked about, you know, a lot of things, and a lot of it has been tied into relationships. So I'm continuing on that theme because I think that's really what is on my heart to talk about right now. But if you're not going through a breakup or anything like that, I encourage you to continue to watch because this could actually benefit you as well. So the first reason why I think that you might still be feeling bitter, and again, this goes for myself when I was analyzing like the feelings behind the anger and, you know, my bitterness, and being like feeling like, oh, this person wronged me so badly, right? This person wronged me so badly. I want them to pay. I want to have vengeance. And, you know, that kind of, look at him, look at my dog, look at Hugo. So this is the first reason. You have not acknowledged the hurt. And what I mean by this is, I'm not saying that you don't realize that this is a hurtful situation, or you don't realize that you've been wronged. I'm talking about you sitting with yourself and saying, I'm hurting. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll say, I'm good. And we've talked about this in other videos too. They'll just brush it off like, oh, I'm good, I'm fine. Like, forget them. Like, they don't deserve my energy, right? But you don't get to that point until you've actually sat with your pain. This girl I follow, her name is Andrea Bordeaux. She's awesome. I'm gonna link her video. Darn mosquitoes. I'm gonna link her video. She actually had a live recently, or maybe it was a YouTube video, where she talked about pain and how people try to run away from pain in the world. And I agree 100%. And I've done this in the past too. When I was younger and I was going through heartbreak or whatever it was, I would go out with my girlfriends. I would go party. I would, you know, do things to distract myself from feeling the pain that I was feeling. And now I actually do the opposite. Like, I've really sat with my pain and sitting down and saying, okay, how did this person affect me? How has this affected me? And I could list out a couple things. I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel sometimes happy because I know that God delivered me from this situation, right? I feel envious, right? Sometimes we don't want to say that, right? We feel envy towards other people because we have this thought like, oh, if it's somebody who, let's say they broke up with you, oh, they broke up with you for someone else, right? You're like, oh, that person won, right? That person got the person that I wanted. And it's like, really? Like, after what they did to you, you think that they won? Right? So, you know, sit down with your hurt and really acknowledge that it's there before you try to move on. And if you're somebody, I was also learning about dysregulated or unregulated emotions for certain people, and I think that I could be one of those people as well. If you're somebody who doesn't know how to regulate your emotions, be careful with the extent of sitting with your pain though, because sometimes you take it to the extreme and you stay there, you sit there too long, or maybe you have a unrealistic reaction to your pain. Like, let's say, for example, you try to go fight somebody. Like, that's not an appropriate way to handle your hurt, you know? So just be careful. I say that with, you know, sit with your pain, acknowledge your hurt, but I say it with a caveat. Do it in a healthy way. Understand that there's extremes to any situation. And really, like I said, acknowledge the hurt, sit with it for some time, grieve whatever you have to grieve, but be appropriate with it. If you need to learn how to regulate your emotions, You might want to seek therapy. We've talked about seeking therapy. Like I said, I think, you can also talk to a family member, friend, whatever you're comfortable with, because I know not everybody's open to therapy, and sometimes there's some crazy therapists out there, but you really want to make sure that if you are going through therapy, you're vetting people and finding the right person to help you with the situation that you're dealing with. So acknowledge to her. That's probably one of the reasons why you are not getting over your bitterness. The second reason why I feel like a lot of people are still bitter and I'm laughing because I know a couple people like this, and I might be a little addicted myself. Some of you are addicted to feeling bitter. Like maybe you're feeling like, okay, yeah, I'm the victim in this situation. I feel bad for myself, look how that person is. And you're constantly pointing the finger, and you like talking about it, right? Maybe you like talking about it. And I'm not saying I'm addicted to talking about this. I get it out my chest. Like, I am so thankful that I have a lot of people around me that I can vent to. But at some point, you have to stop venting. You really do. But it really does feel comfortable for some people to place the blame outward versus really reflecting inward and seeing, like, were there any red flags, right? Is there any part that I played in this situation? Maybe you stayed in that relationship too long. Maybe you didn't stand firm in your boundaries, right? Sometimes we play more of a part than we think. And, when people hurt us, and again, there's a caveat this, because I'm not talking about abusive relationships. If you're experiencing an abusive relationship, we're not talking about you, okay? Because, some people are always gonna be in the comment section like, I got abused, this isn't that, my my boyfriend's domestic violence, whatever. Like, I'm not talking about those kinds of instances. I'm talking about, infidelity, right? Even though that to me is like a psychological abuse, but we're not gonna go there. But physical abuse, domestic violence, I'm not talking about you acknowledging what you did wrong, because you did it, right? If you're being abused, hurt physically, you did nothing wrong, right? You are a survivor, and I hope that you get the help that you need. I'm talking about a different sort of relationship dynamic. So please, I'm not talking about you. Just, know that. And I think it's very important to say that too, because there's a lot of people in domestic violence situations that are people pleasers. And I'm not a therapist. I'm going to say this again. I'm not a therapist, but I've witnessed domestic violence in my past. And, some people will try to say, like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing to make them angry? You're not doing anything. You're crazy, right? So I need to caveat that. If you're going through any type of domestic violence, please skip this one. But if we're talking about, like I said, general relationships where the person is just a dog, you, Hugo, you're a dog, then see what maybe you can reflect on, right? What part did you play in this situation? And, challenge yourself to really think of ways that you can improve yourself so that next time you don't find yourself in that situation, right? Get out of that addiction of feeling that bitterness, because it feels good. It feels good when they do us dirty. It feels so good to hold on to that anger. Like, you deserve nothing but, the worst, right? We want to say those things, want to feel those things, and it feels good. It feels uncomfortable to say, good luck. I wish you the best. It is what it is. I'm not telling you to be that person's best friend, nothing, but it challenges us to grow as people. It really does. And I hate to say that right now, because I really hate to say that, but it's the truth. Because every time I say it out loud, I feel the weight lift from my chest every single time. And then every time I go back into the bitterness, I feel that weight come right back onto my chest. Like, literally like a block. It's like more and more blocks that you place on your chest, on your heart. You feel it. And like I said, you get sick. Like, that's probably why I've had this upper respiratory infection, Another reason why you're still bitter, oh my God, these mosquitoes are like coming for me. Bad idea to sit outside in Georgia, Jesus. And I have this huge bruise, so ugly. Sorry, I just think like I hate bruises. They're so ugly. But yeah, so the third reason why I feel like you might still be bitter is because you have refused to accept what is. They cheated. They broke up with you. They called off the wedding. They left you for someone else. Whatever it might be, because you've created this idea in your head of what you were supposed to be with that person, it's been hard for you to accept what is now, the reality of now. And so that lack of acceptance, Jesus. Sorry, my dog just grabbed this huge branch. But that lack of acceptance has really kept you from moving forward and saying, what could I have done differently? Or it could keep you from thinking, there's something better for me. And we talked about people who tend to stay in relationships because they have their needs met, like their surface level needs. And sometimes we create like these storylines, these ideas in our head, like this is good enough. And so they don't ever think like, oh, I can do better. There's better out there. So when someone leaves or someone hurts them or something happens, it's hard for them to accept it because they don't even believe in this. They don't even believe it themselves. So really think about that. Have you really accepted this? And if you haven't, why? Why have you not accepted it? Right? And then the final reason why I think people might still be feeling the bitterness is because they're focused on another person versus themselves. So look what this person did to them. Look at them over there, just like, ugh, being all happy. Look at them. Look at them. Like, they're not looking at you. They're not worried about you. So focus on yourself. Redirect that energy back to you. Say, okay, let me take a breather. Let me reflect. Answer those questions. Have I accepted this, right? Am I addicted to feeling better, right? Have I truly acknowledged my pain? Sit with those questions, reflect, and then say, okay, now that I have, or now that I'm starting to, what are some ways that I want to be better? How do I want to improve in my next relationship? How do I want to improve just by myself until like you find that person, right? That's right for you. That person who's going to respect you. That person who's not going to betray you, right? Self-improvement. What ways are you improving yourself, right? Maybe you go save up money to go on vacation. Maybe you save up money to take an art class, right? Or maybe you set a goal for yourself. Redirect that attention to yourself. Be better for yourself. That person is gone. The situation is done. You're living in the past and wasting away while there's a whole present in front of you and the possibility of a future beyond you, you know? And you're literally sitting here and wasting away. Your heart, your chest is heavy. Your mind is melting away, right? Because you're not nourishing it. You're filling it up with negativity. So think about that. Is that the type of person you want to be? Right? Focus on yourself. Focus on the people you love. Go do some community service. Enrich yourself. You know, if you stay in that place, you're gonna be bitter for a long time. You know? And you have to understand that getting out of this state is a choice. You choose whether you don't want to be bitter anymore. You choose whether or not you want to be angry. It's not the situation. The situation can't keep you there. That other person can't keep you there. You're keeping yourself there. So let go of the situation. It's easier than you think. we make it hard. We make it hard on ourselves. Whenever I slip back into that mindset, into that feeling, I know it's because I want to. You know, I'm putting myself in that situation. No one else is. So I want to challenge you, if you're someone who's holding on to bitterness and anger, I want to challenge you to ask yourself these questions and really see the change that happens in your heart, truly. See the weight lift, because it is, I promise you, a physiological shift on your mind, body, and soul. It really is. But yeah, are you experiencing bitterness right now? How are you all getting over it? What have you all done to remove your bitterness? And why do you think you're so bitter? Help me too, because like I said, there's so many things that I can fall into, right? From time to time. And life is a roller coaster, right? Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. And so we constantly have to challenge ourselves to do better. So let me know in the comment section how you get over bitterness, how you cope with this situation, because I love to incorporate it myself. And anything you share in the comments, this is a community of people who really want to do better in life, so no judgments. And yeah, so share your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends if you feel like this is something that they can use or something that they can incorporate into their everyday lives. I really appreciate you all for being here. And remember, although makeup can be a self-esteem booster, covering up what's on the outside won't truly heal what's on the inside. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.